What's going on, guys? Vulkan here, and today we are officially in the Western release of Lost Ark, and I am super excited. There is so much packed into this game, and I am just literally in my element, and I love it. So this video is going to be a quick one. We're going to be going over a lot of the user interface settings and kind of these little ins and outs that you might not know about. So really, this is just a big list of things that people have asked me about because they're curious on where to find it or even if the game has it. And unfortunately, Lost Ark's settings menu doesn't really do a good job of kind of directing players on where they need to go to do certain things. So we're going to go ahead and go through some of those frequently asked questions, starting with how can you make your overlay map more transparent? So if you press tab, you're going to open up your overlay map. And if you click on your middle mouse button, you can actually move it around, so you doesn't have to sit right here, right in the middle. You can put it wherever you want. But the problem is, some people really like to have their map very transparent or, not so transparent. So what we're gonna do is over in the upper right-hand corner, we have a transparency button. Now this is going to make both the mini map and your overlay map less transparent. If you go all the way down to the bottom, it's more transparent. So you can kind of find a happy medium on what really you're looking for, but that is something that a lot of people have asked me about. This is an easy way to do it, but again, it's just not something that's really kind of in your face. So the next thing we're going to talk about is something that is going to affect people who might have color blindness or issues seeing their cursor on their screen. So you can see right now I have the default cursor, which is just the kind of red and gold looking one. So if you actually hold Control on your keyboard and scroll your mouse wheel, you can change your cursor. You can go through different colors. You can go back to the original one. So really it's just picking one that's going to work best for you. Now the next thing I want to talk about is actually changing your AFK timer. So this is something that's kind of, once again, buried in a whole bunch of stuff. But if you're somebody who frequently has to leave the game for 15 minutes at a time and then come back and play, this is going to help you avoid having that AFK tag. So what you want to do is you want to open up your settings and you want to go down to controls and display. And then from here, you want to scroll all the way down until you hit UI and you'll see AFK settings. You can go all the way up to 60 minutes. Now, I don't know if this affects your server kickout time or not, but this is something to keep in mind if you don't want to have that AFK setting or AFK tag constantly popping up in your guild list or your friends list. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to show latency, because really it's right here. So under UI, there's show network latency. Right now it's on show delay. And this is just going to show, hey, if you're like 200 milliseconds, it'll show you. But if you're somebody who always wants to see what your network latency is, you can actually hit always show, hit apply, and it'll appear down here next to your roster. So the last thing I'm going to show in the actual settings menu itself is how to switch your left click and right click. So once you're in settings, go to hotkeys and then basic controls. Now here's the thing. You look at this and it looks like, oh man, I can't change these, right? It has this lock icon, it's set, it's stuck. It's actually this toggle box right here, attack with right click. If you click this, you can see these flip, and if you activate it, they flip back. So it's just one of those small things where if you don't know what you're looking for, you're not gonna be able to find it, because again, it's not something that's like, would you like to switch left click and right click? Instead, it's just attack with right click. Now, the last two things I want to show are kind of minor things, but again, a lot of people have asked about them. So the first one is, how do I claim founders packs and Twitch drops? So in order to do that, up here in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see this little white box that's going to have like an arrow coming into it. You can see I have 2 items. This is your product inventory. So if you click that, you can see I have a battle chest, 2 of the same ones actually, and 1 character per account. I can either check that to claim both of them. I can just claim one at a time. But this is where your founder pack will be. This is where your Twitch drops will be. So again, if you unlock those things, check here, and this is where you actually redeem them. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is something that's not necessarily UI related, but it is something that a lot of people kind of glaze over, and that's the Procyon compass. So over here underneath your minimap, you have some buttons to click on. There's a compass one right here. If you click this, this is actually going to show you some pretty cool stuff. These are all things that you can do that are throughout the world. So you have field bosses, you have ghost ships, you have chaos gates, you have adventure islands. And if you click on these, it'll actually show you the schedule of when these things are going to show up. So Signatius here is an eye level 380. He's going to be there on the 11th, and you can actually click the location to see where he is. Now, this is really cool because this is something that a lot of people kind of hit, I'll say like a lull, or they don't really know what to do. They're like, well, you know, I ran through all my chaos dungeons, I did my stronghold stuff, I'm kind of done on the questing thing right now, but I don't really know what to do. Open up Procyon's Compass and check out some ghost ships, check out some chaos gates, and find some things to do that are going to be interactive, but they'll also show you some really cool rewards too. So if you have this Twisting Phantom Legion for a 302, that's going to be coming tomorrow, you can see you get a rift piece, a secret map, a rage rune, and any card pack from this. So it's going to be something that you want to go out and actually complete. And you can actually just click through all these things here too. So you don't have to click on each button or anything like that. But this is just something cool that I always tell new players about, that I always tell, really just ask people, hey, do you know what Procyon's Compass is? And if they say no, I'll take a moment to kind of walk them through it. But everybody, that is kind of my tips and tricks for the user interface. I hope this has helped some of you who might have been looking for a certain setting or how to do a certain kind of little thing. So hopefully that's helped, but thank you all so much for all the support. I really appreciate it. I have a ton more Lost Ark content coming your way. So if you're interested in kind of keeping up on all that, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, and a like doesn't hurt either. Thank you all so much. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you next time.
Sound off one and all, everybody. Don't take what you openly handed. Reach up, grab.